Our firm represents a lot of people on domestic assault charges. And one of the first questions that my clients ask me, Mike, when can I go home to see my spouse? I've got this non-communication condition. I've been released in court or by an officer, and I can't see my spouse. She wants to reconcile. Well, unfortunately, the answer is a very difficult answer that they don't want to hear. You're not allowed to go home until certain situations and conditions are complied with. The Crowns in the province, this is a very political issue. The Crown attorneys in the Attorney General's office have directives and policies. When a domestic assault is charged, there's a non-communication order. The only way, if you're charged with this offense, that you're going home is A, if you win your trial, and that's a long process, which I'll talk about a little bit too, or B, if you plead guilty, and usually when you plead guilty, there's a requirement to do some counseling. So you may not even go home right away there either. You might have to do weeks of counseling. It's a very non-satisfactory answer, and especially for those who are truly innocent, because there are a certain percentage of people who are innocent, they are punished. Their spouse wants them to go home, and now they have to go through a process where the trial may be a year or even longer down the road. I agree the policy's in place for a good reason, and the policy's clear. In the past, many years ago, the Crown attorneys would, vary these conditions, sometimes allow the spouse to go home, and spouses or significant others would wind up dead or hurt again. So we have to have this policy in place, there's no question, but everyone gets caught up in it, unfortunately, including the innocent. And that's the answer I have to give clients. There's no way the Crown attorney is going to vary that condition unless A, you plead guilty. And then if you plead guilty, of course, your spouse has to consent. That's called a revocable consent. Or B, you win your trial. Then the condition's deleted there. And that's a long process. So that, unfortunately, is the unsatisfactory answer. But I do agree with the policy, because if we did not have the policy in place, we've got spouses going home or boyfriends or girlfriends, vice versa, beating each other up, and it's not a good situation. So we have to let the court system deal with it. And those are the reasons for the Attorney General's directives and policies.